Thank you. The other person who has written a book in absentia is Professor Suki Mwendwa, a book called Sing Your Song. It is a book that I also commend to you. May I now humbly request you to resume your seats. And having done so, may I now have the podium to be brought. Typically, when one is invited to speak, long introductions are made. I normally interrupt those introductions because the very fact that we have invited Commander-in-Chief Julius Malema here in itself is a testament to the fact that we have searched throughout the world and we have arrived at the conclusion that he is the one who is fit to be here. So his very presence in this assembly is a testament to the fact that he is a Pan-Africanist. It is not mine to talk about him. But when we talk about Pan-Africanism today, we are talking about Pan-Africanism in the context of those who preceded us. We are talking about Pan-Africanism reminding ourselves of Sylvester Williams of Trinidad and Tobago, who convened the first Pan-African meeting. We are reminding ourselves of Marcus Garvey. We are reminding ourselves of Pixley Isaka Seme of South Africa. We are reminding ourselves of W.B. Du Bois. We are reminding ourselves of John Henry Clark. We are reminding ourselves of Malcolm X, of Martin Luther King Jr., of Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe. We are reminding ourselves of Bantu Stephen Biko. We are reminding ourselves of Julius Kambarage Nyerere. We are reminding ourselves of Amilcar Cabral Abel-Jassy. We are reminding ourselves of Ahmed Ben Bella, of Ahmed Sekou Toure, of Samora Moises Machel, of Agostino Neto, and all those great men, Winnie Madikizela Mandela. We are reminding ourselves. And therefore, when we come here on this occasion of the Pan-African Institute, we are reminding ourselves that we have philosophized for too long, moralized for too long, agonized for too long, complained for too long, criticized for too long, critiqued for too long, blamed others for too long. We have allowed ourselves to be defined for too long, and that the time is now to define ourselves. The time is now to organize beyond agonization. And that is why it gladdens my heart as I will, in the next 30 minutes, invite Commander-in-Chief Sello Malema to also invite to the stage individuals who will welcome him as he delivers his speech, because it is these individuals whom we start with, and through cross-fertilization of ideas, they are germinated the Pan-African Institute. Tony Nyanja. Joanne Mwangi Yelbert. Sylvia Kasanga. If indeed they say there is a thorn among the roses, I am but that thorn. Behold the roses. That said, Juju, these are your people. Amandla, Maibuye, Maibuye. You don't know how to respond. When I say Amandla, you say Awet. When I say Maibuye, you say I Africa. And when I say I Africa, you say Maibuye. Amandla, Amandla, Maibuye, Africa. Juju, speak to your people.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Let me take this opportunity to send revolutionary greetings to the esteemed professor, a friend of mine and a brother, PLO Lumumba. Let me also greet our mother, the founder of this important university, Mama Martha Kasanga Mulwa, and greet your husband, wherever he is, that he left us a lasting legacy that we stand to celebrate here today. The leadership and academic staff, our Vice Chancellor, the Chancellor is here, and all the staff members who are here today to celebrate with us. And we also want to send our revolutionary greetings to the leadership of our province, what we call a province, I hear you call it sub-national, the governor, and all these politically elected leaders who are here today. We are really grateful for your presence. Let me also send my greetings to the Lukenya University students and members of the community, members of the media and fellow Africans. Today it feels good to be African. Right here in Kenya, a place we call our home, because all of Africa is our home. No one can ever say to me, welcome to Kenya or Lukenya or Nairobi, as if I'm a visitor. I regard no part of Africa as being foreign to me, because Africa, all of it, belongs to me and I belong to Africa. It is a humbling honor to be invited to address the launch of the prestigious Pan-African Institute, which is targeted at creating intellectual collaboration and unity amongst the people of the continent. Let us therefore begin by congratulating you on this initiative, which is long overdue in light of the importance of the continent to reclaim its intellectual and academic identity within the global community in general. We know that ideas are at the core of the African capacity to chart its own destiny within the community of the world. Intellectual sovereignty has to be forged through research and development that is steeped in African experiences, African problems, and African questions. The economics of the African Academy have been part of the modalities of the broad draining of our resources. Because of lack of dedicated funding, many thinkers in the continent are taken in the general brain drain driven by Euro-American institutions. As we have seen over the decades, there is no way Euro-American is going to fund an intellectual project that will see Africa truly become intellectually sovereign. A truly sovereign Africa is a threat to the imperialist establishment that continue to determine the agenda and control of our resources. It is also inspiring to see that our esteemed Prof. Lumumba and those who are joining him in this initiative have chosen our continent and Kenya in particular to establish an intellectual research and knowledge institution. Accordingly, our first duty is to call on sons and daughters of the continent, both based here and in the diaspora, to jealously fund this institute and ensure that it create and charts a unique Africa based on an original thought, because we have a duty to chart our own intellectual path. We are also inspired by the fact that the institute concept of Pan-Africanism include all people of African descent. That is, those in the continent, the Americas, Caribbean islands, Europe, and Asia.